So welcome, welcome. This is the Fall 2021 Marketing Practicum Showcase. And we are very excited to have all of you here and joining us today. The students have been working hard, and we're going to tell you about all of the project work that they've been doing on the project partners. But before we do that, I just want to share our territory acknowledgement with you. We would like to recognize and acknowledge the Kakite First Nation and the Kwakwitlam First Nation, as well as all the Coast Salish peoples, on whose traditional and unceded territories we live, we learn, we play, and we do our work. And I see that who's got auto-corrected for me the wrong way. So I apologize for that typo. There we go. All right. So the marketing projects have been with our partners, with Silver Threads based on Vancouver Island, Silver Thread Service for Seniors, with the North Shore Connection Society, and with Alan Lehman, our BC author. In these, the students have identified opportunities to expand sales, find donors, bring more awareness, recognize and honor participants and members in the different organizations. They've also had the opportunity to dig into research. They have also been able to interview experts in the field, do some firsthand research, and develop custom solutions for each of the organizations. To lead us through the presentation today, I want to introduce to you our two students, Bruno. Give him a wave, Bruno.
Hello.
Vanessa. And these students have been working in the public relations and in the content marketing side. They've been witnesses to the hard work and doing their own hard work in terms of talking about the project partners and the work that the students have been doing. Today, they are tasked with being our hosts. So they are going to walk us a little bit through the format of the show. And I think with that, I'm going to hand it over and let you lead us on our way.
Okay. So hello, everyone. I'm Bruno. This is Vanessa, and we are with the PR and content team. Today, the format for our showcase, it'll be basically, we're going to introduce the groups, and then we'll play the presentation videos for the group, and then we'll go over with a Q&A session. So I just wanted to remind you as well that you can please to have your microphones off, and then if you have any questions, feel free to type it in on the chat, so we can track that out, and then we can ask those questions for the teams. To start today, the showcase, we'll be hearing from Team 3. Team 3 worked with Silver Threads, which is a organization based off Vancouver Island that focuses on issues regarding well-being and quality of life for seniors. The main opportunity with this project was to analyze the current marketing efforts and recommend a new plan focusing on the 65th anniversary of the organization. And it's also nice that the team had the chance to travel to the organization centers to record a video for the project, which we'll be talking about more on their presentation. So right now I will just set up their video. Okay, great.
Hi everyone, we are Team 3 and we are working for the 65th anniversary campaign for Silver Threads. Now let's take a look about the project purpose and objective. First is to create a message to welcome back all members in person activities. Second is to analyze the current social media, the marketing strategy and content in order to create new content for the anniversary. Third is to increase brand awareness and fundraising. For those reasons, the 65th anniversary is the opportunity to increase brand awareness, bring new customers and current customers back to the centers, and generate new donations. In order to create our strategy and new content, we conducted a secondary and primary research. Now let's take a look about the key findings. First is Canadian seniors are using more internet during their normal days. Second, is photos and videos are a strategic tool for storytelling. In general, people love history. Third, is digital and traditional media should be included. In terms of traditional media, printer flyers are a strategic tool for those that don't have internet connections. Then, the logo. The logo is an important part of the brand, so refreshing it is strategic. And last but not least, is about the honor the history of the company through stories of all the members. Now, Truth is going to talk about strategy.
We had to plan our positioning strategy well because of the target audience, and therefore we divided all our contents into two equal halves of digital and traditional marketing. We communicated with the mass, that is the target audience, talking about the company core values, the history, the services Silver Threads has been providing for 65 years, and all of these were surrounding the 65th anniversary campaign to promote the activities and asking everybody to return to the campus.
We create tactics and visual to target all adults and using the traditional and digital channels to promote our 65th anniversary campaign. And the first piece that we create was a video with the history of the company, the present with the activities, programs, and services that they are offering right now, the volunteer program, and the future of the organization. Part of the strategy of creating this video was open a YouTube channel and to promote the video of the 65th anniversary on social media with a trailer. Here is the trailer.
Hello, my name is Tracy Ryan. I'm the Executive Director of Silver Threads Service, and we're celebrating our 65th anniversary. Happy anniversary, Silver Threads. It's a wonderful place.
Same time, we create 33 social media posts to promote the services, the program, and the core values of the company, and create brand awareness for the 65th anniversary campaign, and to promote the video and the website in all of these posts, and creating some expectation pieces to the launch of the video.
So now I'm going to talk about the printed flyer. So the printed flyer is a print piece and has a 65th anniversary message on it. It is for the people, older adults, who doesn't have access to the internet. We are using this traditional channel because we're going to distribute it across the centers. Also, it has a start fresh message on it. Then we have the newsletter. So the newsletter also contains a 65th anniversary message on it. It contains all the history of Silver Threads and also a message from the director, Tracy Ryan. Then we have the logo. So we kept the original logo but added a message of 65th anniversary at the top with the fireworks in the background, which gives it a really celebratory feel.
We design a content calendar to organize all the social media posts and our strategies like email marketing, the video, the Facebook, and all of the digital platforms that we will use during the 65th anniversary campaign.
Now we are going to talk about the recommendations. So the audiovisual content that recorded for the 65th anniversary campaign can be used to create new campaigns in the future. Also, they can use the photos and videos to create new promotional pieces. Promoting and distributing the video on TV in both the centers in Saanich and Victoria. Also, the company can use the TV to project market content for members and employees. They can portray videos, health and mental tips, voluntary photos. That is all from our side.
Great work, team. Amazing, amazing video. Amazing work you did with the assets, the published assets. Great job, great job. And for now, we're just gonna go over a couple of audience questions for the team. So I'm just gonna please ask you, the team, to have their cameras on and then also the mics on whenever they're gonna answer the question. So the first question we have is, what were the challenges of the project?
Okay, so one of the biggest challenges that we have was to capture the essence of Silver Threads in only one day through history, videos, interviews, and photos, because it's important to highlight that Silver Threads is the organization, is the employees, is the activities, is the service, and they are 65 years of experience, service, and history.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Another challenge that we face, and I would like to add, is that the content we recorded was a lot of content, so it was really difficult for us to choose the best one, best videos, best picture out of it. That was another challenge that we faced.
Okay, great, great. Thank you, team. And then just for the second question, the second to last question, we have one from Tracy Ryan. So how did this experience change your feelings about older adults?
For our team, that changed everything in our experience, because before we go to the centers, we were creating a lot of digital strategies, but when we stay in the center with the old adults, having some programs, we saw that people are not living in the digital world at all. Like, they didn't have phones, they were like living like the afterlife, working with them, enjoying the life, having some communication. So that was a really good experience to see that it's not everything about digital.
Great, great, guys. Thank you so much for answering the questions.
Oh,
Now, yeah,
Thank you, team three.
thank you, team.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, and now for our next three presentations, the teams, they worked with Alan Lehman. Alan Lehman is a former English teacher, and now in his retirement years, he started writing and then self-publishing novels. The teams, they help the author with creating strategies for marketing his books in multiple selling channels. Now we're just gonna start with Kangana. Kangana worked with development of our strategy for one of the books, which is Denver Aquarius. Now I'm just gonna set up the presentation. There we go.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kangana Grover, and today my project is B2C marketing of book Denver Aquarius by author Alan Lehman. And I'll be discussing about the challenges that my client has faced. So my client loves to write books, but he's not the person who is responsible for doing the marketing, and the challenge that we were facing was creating an online presence. So the purpose of my project is to expand Alan's book market and reach. So our book is distributed through Google Books, Kindle, Nook, iTunes, and Kobo. So the purpose is to create a better online presence and increase the revenue of Mr. Alan Lehman. Moving on to the research that I did, I found that after doing a comparison, that most of the well-known authors of BC have promoted their books using Facebook, and some of them also have their Instagram, and most of them have a very nice website. And then I also researched about certain facts and figures. So social media content plays a major role when it comes to marketing a book. And then it comes interviews and awards, reviews, Facebook ads, and so on. And book purchases were higher amongst book buyers that visited bookstores in person. And moving on, Amazon is the major player when it comes to book industry, but getting on Amazon is not enough. You have to get reviews and you have to use right keywords. So be index means Amazon needs to understand that your book is relevant. And then these are the selected keywords that I'll be included in book title, subtitle, and description. So as our book has all these subjects, life, fears, self-help. So I've created these keywords so that if a person types it in Amazon, our book can be reached out easily. And then these are the certain recommendations and solutions for Mr. Allen to promote his book. So firstly, we have to increase the number of reviews, and then collaborating with more authors to be in more interviews with them, to be part of their blog so that their audience can be our audience as well. And most important is creating podcasts. So as I'll be discussing in further slides, that how Alan can, communicate to its audience using podcast and creating a better description that on Amazon so that we can attract our users. How can we increase reviews? So I'll be doing it through emailing at the time of purchase and asking reviews from family and friends by inviting over them for tea and some snacks so that we can have a base for the reviews. So this is the marketing asset that I have created for Mr. Allen. So I have created this podcast, My Love for Writing, as Alan is not the person who uses much of Facebook and Instagram. So, but this is the way, this is the platform he can express himself. So the topics that I've shortlisted are behind the scenes of book industry, what inspired Alan to write his book, so the topics that were not the part of his book. And these podcasts will be shared on two platforms, that is Buzzsprout and Transistor. So, but they both are free, and Buzzsprout allows you to embed a podcast into the website. So this is a nice opportunity for Alan to include this podcast on his website. And Transistor, it allows the distribution of new episodes to major platforms, that is Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And on the left-hand side is the podcast script that I have created for Mr. Allen, and these are certain things that he can include in his podcast. Moving on, I have also added a feedback form on the website. So this feedback form will allow users to better interact with Mr. Allen if they want to know certain story, or they want to write a message to him, give him any feedback. So this will be attached to Amazon. And whenever a person buy their book, this can be shared to them even after 1 week, that how was the experience. You want to get in touch with Alan, you can get in touch. And this is the marketing metrics. Firstly, it's click to sales ratio that will be used on Amazon. Number of users visiting the Amazon too often, as there are no reviews for this book on Amazon. So I'm expecting around 15 to 20 in year 2022. More number of collaboration and increase in 40% of Alan's sale and better engagement on its podcast. And this is the implementation calendar for the upcoming year. So I've created this using the strategies such as we will be analyzing the keywords that we have chosen, creating the different episodes for podcast, and doing more collaboration. So that's all I have concluded in this project, and I hope this project is a successful one and Alan can promote his book better. These are certain references, and thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kangan. A great job, amazing job, especially with the research, with the Amazon findings. That's great. With the great work with the keywords, that'll be amazing. Now also we're just gonna go over through the questions. So again, I just ask you to please have your camera and the mic on. First question will be, you suggest that the authors start a podcast or appear on the podcast for others. How can a podcast be effective in promoting Denver Aquarius?
So hi, Mr. Alan Lehman. I hope you like my presentation. And the reason I choose podcast was podcasts are intimate. They create a direct link and a personal connection with the audience. And secondly, podcast improves the trade craft. That is, it's a challenge in the beginning, but after you have created few podcasts, you start improving in-person delivery. Thirdly, this is the platform which is inexpensive to use. So it just take around $5 to $20 per month to promote using the podcast. And then it is fun. So as Mr. Allen is not a person who uses much of Facebook and Instagram, so this is fun. This is a fun task for him as he can express his emotion, express his feeling through his oral, communication with his audience.
Yes, great. Thank you. Thank you. So the second question is, in your opinion, what is the biggest challenge for a new self-publishing author?
So firstly, the challenge is the lack of financial support. That is one of the major challenges that most of the authors, including Alan, faces. Second is multitasking. Authors love to write, but they don't know how to market the book. So multitasking is a very big challenge for new authors. And then third is creating an audience. When you write a new book, you don't know what the target audience will be. So the biggest challenge is finding the right audience for your book. And then fourth is advertising. So as we know that advertising platforms are very expensive these days, so this is a very big challenge. And then it comes, and I think combining all of these challenges and being like they need a marketing person specifically. So this is the biggest challenge that new authors face.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. It was great hearing all the information you brought us, and great job. Great job.
Thank you, Kangana. So what's our next book?
So our next book will be Inca Sunset, which Yash will be talking about. Yash worked with the development, also with the marketing plan for the book, and then with a focus on the final reader as well, just like Kangana. And we're excited to hear what Yash came up with. I'll be just setting up the video right now.
Hello everyone, I'm Yash Raj. I'm now going to present my client project representing Team 8. But before I jump into the core contents, I would first like to share a little bit about the client. The client name is Alan Lehman. He's a retired English teacher who is also a pianist. He loves to write books. He's a book writer, has written 3 interesting and amazing books. That brings us to the book. The book is called Inca Sunset, an interesting book which talks about the Inca Emperor of Peru and narrates the travel conditions in that time. Now, moving on to the project purpose and objectives, the predominant intent of this project is to increase awareness, reach, recognition for the author and the book by enhancing the marketing strategy, deliver a thorough marketing research of primary and secondary data to better understand the market and reach them effectively. The third is an improved list of SEO keyword types for author's own website or Amazon. And last but not least is to find new target market to cater simultaneously along with the existing one. Furthermore, in order to better understand the market, some research was conducted. The study on the left suggests which is the most used retail channel by the consumers of Canada and which is the most preferred channel for book buying. To put it down in top 4, the first is Amazon, followed by Chapters, then Indigo, and Walmart at the 4th. Moreover, that was the where, and now this study helps understand the how. In order to better understand how these Canadians find out about new books, this study helps understand that the leading method to discover about new books is through word of mouth. Since so many things revolve around online platforms, considering a social media platform is yet another thing. This study suggests which is the most used social media channel, amongst which Facebook is the most preferred social media type by a far mile. Now, further, I wanted to understand the market a little better. For that, a few expert interviews were done to gain expertise and knowledge from the professionals in the field. The first one was with the sales representative head at Indigo. The major finding from these interviews were that the authors have an option to do a consignment deal with Indigo when they can sell their books through Indigo without having to transfer the ownership or sell their major chunk of shares. Secondly, Indigo, there is generally a big table or bay area by the name Discover Your Community containing books of local author. By this way, local authors have a high chance of getting their book recognized in the local market. Furthermore, there were a few more expert interviews done to get the edge at understanding the market. Expert interview with Michael Conford, an e-commerce expert. The intent with this meeting was to understand the digital market and e-commerce, how it can be used as a leverage that can benefit Alan's book. The third one was with Ian Miller, an organizer at Even Magazine. Upon talking with Ian, his best recommendation was to get book reviewed by reviewers. And lastly, an interview with their operation manager at Baines Travel. Now, you might have a question, why a travel agent? This addresses back to the objective that I mentioned earlier, which is to find a new target market to cater alongside with the existing one. And the book Inca Sunset includes travel as one of the major parts of the story. This could be one market that we can cater in. His best suggestion was to incorporate SEO campaigns. So how to address the suggestions and loopholes in Alan's marketing? For that, these are a few feasible and viable recommendations and solutions. The first one is to get a customer review follow-up after each purchase. It can be done through a personalized email like the one I have created on the right. The second recommendation is to get the book reviewed by reviewers, which can create reliable testimonials for the customers. And the list on the right is few Vancouver PC-based reviewers that can be reached out. And the third is to have an improved SEO campaign. And this study helps uncover some good keyword types that can be used either on author's website or on Amazon. Moving on, this recommendation is to get a sample or read-only version up to limited pages on author's website. And this is the sample that I created for the book Inca Sunset. And lastly, to emphasize on promoting books through book fair events and book signing events, like the book signing events happening at Indigo, and there are a few other stores that does this type of events. And the list on the right are a few independent and chain bookstores that can be reached out. For the marketing assets, the one on the left is a flyer come a promotional piece that can be used for marketing at libraries or bookstores. It is integrated with 2 QR codes, one for the author's website and one for Amazon. And on the right hand, it is a 3D image mockup that can be used as a promotional piece, either for newspaper ads or magazine advertisements. On the left, this is yet another 3D image mockup. And on the right, these are the few logos that I designed, which in my inclination can enhance the author's website's aesthetic look. And lastly, this is the marketing metrics, which helps understand what actions, why, and how often this action needs to be done. These are the references. And that's it from me. Thank you for listening. I'm open to any or all questions that you may have.
Great job, Yash. Great job. Amazing presentation, great research, and then also the ideas, especially with the published assets. Great job there. So now just going over with a couple of questions. First one we have is why to show sample pages? Isn't there a chance it might decrease sales?
Why sample pages on author's website? I think that's a good question. And I'll answer that. Well, the primary reason is that customers will have an option to view up to limited pages before purchasing the whole set. So this way it can help in 2 things. One, the people who might go through the samples are the one who likes to read books, are a bookhead. So giving them this option could trigger them in an excitement to read the whole set. And second is it can prevent from leaving bad reviews. If they cannot tell how the book is before purchasing, they might purchase it, and if they don't like it, they could end up leaving a bad review. This can help in that scenario.
Okay, great. I think right now Shannon has a question for you as well.
Yes, you've talked about reviews, as did Kangana, and you gave a list of, I think those are of some prestigious reviewers there.
I did.
Who would you suggest for Mr. Lehman that he would approach first? Who do you think would be influential from that group?
To answer that, there were certainly more than 15 reviewers that I could find, local and I would say national as well. But the list that I've given of reviewers is the top 10 in my inclination that I think are the best fit and are possible and viable to reach out. So if you ask me which one, I would say that all of the names that I've given in the list, which is not too lengthy, not too short, just about enough that can be reached out.
And the first approach, would that be by email, by LinkedIn? What would you suggest?
Of course, the first is through email. Since I couldn't find LinkedIn profile for every of the reviewers, so getting an email message is the best bet for now.
Very good. Thanks so much. Again, well done on the presentation.
Thank you so
Very
much.
good.
And I must say it was my privilege to have an opportunity to work with the client, Alan.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. Now I'll be handing over to Vanessa.
Thank you. So the third project, helping Mr. Lehman, is to help increase awareness and increase profitability to sell books to other businesses like libraries and bookstores. And with the help of creating an exceptional marketing and promotional strategy, including the social media presence, please look at the video of Jake and Nishan.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, myself, Ishan Chawla, and my partner, Jake Lee, will present a showcase presentation for our client, Alan Lehman. We have to sell his books in the B2B market. What are we doing here? Our primary goal for this project is to increase the awareness of the three novels and author, Alan Lehman, set up a workable marketing strategy so that he can promote his books in the B2B market. How Canadians buy books? There are different types of books available in the market. So paperback, hardcover, ebook, and the audiobook. So this line chart basically shows that people preference to buy books like online and in person. How people choose the books? Like the first priority for the people is bookstores or retailer. So they like books, for example, Indigo and the Chapters. And for the second priority is the author. So people like to get influenced by the ideology of the author. So we have to create a brand awareness for the Alan Lehman, where we found our customers. So for the libraries, we browsed on the official website of the British Columbia, and we got details of various libraries from this portal. And the BC Book World is a portal where we can find every information about the bookstores, where they are located, and several others. What do experts say? Then we conducted an in-depth interview with Mr. Travis Smith. He is a Douglas librarian, and he basically laid the foundation of our course, which helped us in moving further in the project. What the business customers say? We created a email template for promotion of books. So we send the template to different librarians, and we received a very positive response from Vancouver Public Library, Port Moody Library, and Coquitlam Library. So now Jake will present solutions and recommendations.
Thank you, Ishan. Now I'm going to talk about how we make more people know about Alan. As you saw in our previous slide, the author is the primary reason people choose books. So Alan himself is our brand, and we worked to build and increase his awareness. To do that, we designed and recommended Alan to update his LinkedIn profile and engaged in some readers group at goodreads.com. For how we propose the books to our customers, we mainly use email campaigns as one of the major content marketing methods. Luckily, we succeeded in selling out some books or received several positive responses from our customers. Now we are anticipating some more good news. We have also applied our digital marketing tools to this project. We created a landing page for Alan's books and made it link to the purchase website directly. Now let me talk about what we created for the marketing and for promotion. We have created several marketing assets during this project period, and YouTube videos about Alan and his three novels are the first thing we can present. It was opened to public a month ago, and now all of our customers can watch the videos and easily understand Alan and his novels. Our next creation is the sales sheets. We designed them to propose customers' review and their purchase of the books. The sales sheet contains detailed information about books and direct links to reviews, videos, and purchase websites. For the wrap-up of our project, we have recommended many marketing activities which our client can try to promote his books in the future. Lastly, we added up the key metrics of success. It includes key performance and the measurement of success. So we can judge its success or failure right there. This is all for our presentation today. Thank you so much for your listening.
Thank you very much. It was a very great presentation, and with the YouTube and LinkedIn aspects, it was exceptional. And we have two questions. The first is that, and please have your cameras on and microphone if you're speaking. The first question is that, why do you think that email marketing is the better way to approach business clients than other methods?
Yeah, I will answer to that question. At the beginning of the project, we have considered many methods to promote and market the books. But after some period of research, we find out the email marketing as the content marketing is the best way we can conduct right there. So actually, we have done all the email marketing during the project, and we got some result from the email marketing. So we thought the email marketing was a kind of good choice for this project. But other marketing methods, of course, we recommended to the Alan, and then he gonna use all other marketing tools as well. Thank you.
I see. Thank you very much. And the other question is that why do you think that focusing on LinkedIn is a good strategy for Mr. Lehman?
I will answer that question according to the current scenario. Like every business, like a top post have a LinkedIn profile. So like contacting them through LinkedIn is a better way to reach out to them for the book sales and the book promotions. So that's the only reason.
Thank you very much for your answer. And we would like to continue with another project and another organization, which is North Shore Connection Society. And the first project is focusing on fundraising. And just let me tell you that North Shore Connection Society is an organization helping people with intellectual disabilities. And so the first team is focused on fundraising, meaning that they would like to increase awareness to have for the organization more donors, more sponsors, and also to build a long-term relationship with these sponsors for the organization. And please watch the presentation of Angelica, Harpreet, and Moe.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Angelica, and I'm part of Team Create and Design Marketing, and this is our pitch presentation. And so our client is North Shore Connection Society, which is a nonprofit organization that has been supporting people with intellectual disabilities for over 65 years, and we are currently working with their marketing department. So first of all, talking about project purpose, the first thing is to, of course, in the short term, raise money, but also to improve fundraising in the long term. Next is to increase the number of repeat donors and sponsors by maintaining the relationship even after the auction is over. And lastly, increasing overall brand awareness. So talking about market research, we conducted both competition and industry analysis, as well as we had an expert interview with 2 individuals from Douglas College Foundation. And based on that research, these are our 4 main findings. So first of all, corporate sponsorships benefit both the nonprofit organization and the corporation in many ways. And when pitching to a sponsor, a good way to do so is establishing a connection by grabbing their attention with why you're the perfect fit. And when it comes to inspiring donors to give, the best platforms to use are social media and fundraising events. And lastly, when talking to a sponsor, it's important to not only acknowledge your own priorities, but theirs as well, and of course, to follow up after. I'm going to pass it on to Harpreet.
Thank you, Angelica. So I will be talking about the main strategies. So the first is building relationship. So as a nonprofit organization, it is important to build the relationship with the community and with the corporate business owners. So our focus is on that. And the second is continuing the relationship after. Many businesses do make the relationship, but they didn't continue after the event or after the campaign. So our focus is to having a follow-up plan and following up then after the auction. So, and the third is fundraising campaign. So as we know, social media platform and fundraising events are most inspire donors to give. So we will be having a fundraising campaign to plan increase the awareness and getting the donations. So our campaign is the Mingle Auction 2021 online, that is online. So it will be having the main three parts. First is the disclaimer, that is we will be sending it throughout the newsletters. So second is the platform, 32 auction platform, we will be using that, and the donation items, so from the local businesses and the sponsor and previous connections. So we are in progress of that, and the getting the engagement from the community with the emails, social media, and website. And the second is launch of the auction with the event, that is Jingle of the Mingles, and the access through the landing page. And the third and the most important part is sending the announcements about winners and the thank you emails. So I will pass on to Waller.
Thank you, Harpreet. I will be talking about the few sample visuals that we have created for our client. First, we have the landing page, and this is what is going to be shared at the end of the annual event, Mingle of the Jingles. And it has a link that will take you to the auction website. Then we have our newsletter that has already been sent out to the community members earlier this week. On the right is the thank you card that will be sent to the winners along with the auction items. And on the next slide, we have our social media posts that will be uploaded before, during, and after the event. On the next slide, we have the thank you email template that will be sent to our donors and sponsors as a part of the follow-up plan. And the success of our event will be measured through the amount of donations and funds that we raised. Next, we'll be looking at how much awareness we gained. And for that, we'll be using Google Analytics tools to analyze traffic rates, source conversion rates, and so on. The amount of returning donors and sponsors will also reflect on the overall effectiveness of our marketing strategies. Social media engagement will be analyzed through social media analytics tools by looking at likes, comments, views, and shares. And lastly, we'll also be looking at the leads generations. This is the end of our presentation. Here on our last slide, we have a QR code that will take you to the auction website. Thank you.
Much. First of all, I would like to say this, that we would like to wish you best luck, and we are going to check the silent auction at the end of December. And also this QR code is a very, very good solution. And please.
I got my code, I'm ready.
You should try. Yes, and so please turn on your cameras and microphone if you are speaking. And let's continue with the questions. So the first question for you is that As there are different types of online auction platforms available, how did you select 32 auctions as a platform for you? Sorry, we cannot hear you. Mo. It says that you are not muted, but we cannot hear you. Anyone else who can answer the question?
It's okay. It's okay, Waller. I can just take care of that. So 32 auction, we have researched a lot of the platforms, but we decided 32 auction because of its some feature. First, it is easier to use. So in the North Shore society, mostly people are elderly, and so we use some of the platform that is easy to access and easy to move around, and people can just bid on that and there are no complications. So that's why we use that. And one of the other reason is that like the someone at the North Shore had a previous experience with the platform, so it is easier to set up the account and set up the auction there. So that's the reason. Thank you.
Okay, I understand. Great. So the second question is that you mentioned that you would like to have a relationship with the sponsors after the auction. How do you think it's achievable?
Yeah, so our team created a whole plan as what to do after the auction is over. So since the auction will be happening around mid-December, we plan on sending emails thanking sponsors and bidders for their participation later in December. And then starting in January, we will also send an email sharing the success of the event, like how much money we raised and so forth. And then around the middle of the year, June, we will be sharing how the money was used to benefit the organization, and so that sponsors and bidders can understand like how their contribution helped. And then also towards the end of the year, we'll be recognizing sponsors either by sharing stories of videos that thanking the sponsors towards the end of the year via like the website and social media posts. So basically that's our plan.
I see. Great. Thank you very much for your answers. And in this case, we would like to continue with another theme, helping North Shore Connection Society. It's focusing on enterprises, and they would like to increase the awareness and also generate higher profit for the organization by creating outstanding marketing strategies. And on this project, please welcome the video of Graciela, Carlos, and Sirinapa.
Hi, everyone. To start, we want to mention Venture Enterprises' purpose. They believe in creative minds and that inclusive business can be made and succeed. And they do this by a program designed for people with developmental disabilities who are eager to do business and connect with people. Their work results in a simple but valuable products for the community. We are Chameleon Marketing, and this is what we want to present. This marketing project aims to raise venture enterprises awareness, increase sales, and make sure that the crafters participate in profits. Our challenge was to reach out customers, donors, and partners and make the online shop more attractive. For that, we made a literature review and interviews with specialists on nonprofit marketing and e-commerce. Based on our research, we defined our target market as people over 35 years old who are comfortable using online buying methods and social media. Our findings led us to focus on emotional appeal to engage instead of concentrating on the products. Further, We found out that donors prefer to be reached by email and by request, which means making on one-time or monthly donations. Now I'm gonna pass on to Carlos.
Thank you, Graciela. In terms of strategies, we believe big things usually happen with a small beginning. That is why we are proposing to first focus in the Northern Vancouver community to progressively expand to other cities in the Greater Vancouver area. Due to the nature of the members, more than in their product, we will focus on the emotional appeal to connect customers with the purpose, as mentioned by Graciela. The prices offered will be the same as competitors or at 10 to 20% more according to our PAMI research. Furthermore, the distribution channel used will be the online store primarily. And finally, the promotional channels used will be social media marketing, direct marketing, sales promotion, and personal selling. Now, concerning tactics, first, MailChimp was proposed as a database and was approved to use. That was a good news for us. Moreover, we are using B2B sales to target stores related to the products like thrift stores, pet stores, and grocery stores. We have already done the online store improvement that will be shown in the marketing assets, and then we'll be executing email campaigns and sales promotions through email, seasonal campaigns by offering bundles of the products, and SEO marketing by proposing the keywords to be used in all the channels. Now I will pass it to Siri that will talk about the marketing assets.
Thank you so much, Carlos. So I'm going to talk about marketing assets. So we have divided into three main parts, which are email templates, thank you cards, and the square size. So we aim to reach out more customer, more subscriber, and as well as we want to create its product value propositions. And also we want to redesign the website to be more conversion oriented. Here are our example of the work piece. This one is an email heading and also email footer. And here is an example of email template for the prospect and user and the product. And here is the thank you card that will be attached to the products. So this one is for the upcoming event, which is the Mingle of the Jingles event that created by North Shore Connections. And we create a thank you card that will be attached to different baskets. And the last one, which is the square size. So I'm going to enter to the square size. So when you entering to the square size, you're gonna see the logo as well as navigation bar and also like the call to action and the banner of different participants. Also, I'm going to show you guys the overview of our website. So you will see like more like call to action bottom, and here's the shop. And also next is testimonials, also the Instagram feed. And the last one, which is like the contact address that you can contact us. And here is our presentations. Thank you so much for listening our presentation.
Thank you very much. Very good creative promotional ideas. I would like to ask you to have your cameras on and unmute yourself if you're speaking. And I would like to continue with the first question, which is that you mentioned that the pricing of these handcrafted products was a challenge during this project. So I'm asking you, what type of pricing strategy did you choose and why?
Okay, so to answer this question, so we decided to choose cost plus pricing as our pricing strategy to price out all the products, because we wanted to ensure that like our pricing covers like the direct material cost, direct labor cost, and overhead costs for every product. And in addition, so we apply emotional appeal as our value proposition delivered to customers instead of like quality when compared to competitor in the market, because we cannot like, to be honest, we cannot like control the quality of the product because our product is a handcraft products.
Okay, I understand. Thank you very much for your answer. And the second question is that we all know that not everyone likes to purchase online. And so we are asking like, how can you demonstrate that the website is trustworthy and when they are purchasing.
Thank you, Vanessa. Well, firstly, the primary purpose of every website is trust. So we plan to work on this aspect. That is why we're linking to North Shore Connection Society as the organization behind Venture Enterprises. This organization has already owned their brand awareness and its own recognition. And as a program behind it, we want to support on them. And this way, customers will be more comfortable and confident when purchasing.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Excellent.
And can I still get some Christmas shopping done?
Oh, please. Yes.
I hope there's a few things left. I've got a few things left on my list.
Beautiful things there.
Yes.
Yes.
So check out their products if you are still looking for a Christmas gift.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I think we have got another team.
Yeah, so we were actually saving the best for last, which is our own presentation. So me and Vanessa, we are in the PR and content team. We were responsible for documenting and then documenting the work for the students, all the work executed in the marketing practicum course. We worked with the course instructor, students, and then also looking at the partner organizations work. We created a story to be shared in social media channels to build value, to increase awareness of the Douglas College and Envision Financial Community Building Program, which is the organization that oversees the whole class. We use the concept of storytelling in social media to create a strategy for this project, and we'll explain it a little bit better in our presentation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bruno, and then this is Vanessa as well. Today, we're going to be working on our project presentation, and we are with the PR and marketing content team. We worked with the Douglas College and Envision Financial Community Building Program, which was the base for our development of this strategy and the project. As our introduction and purpose, we documented and kept track of success of both students and then the partner organizations. And then we also created awareness, value, and a positive image for the community building program. To kickstart our project, we started with some secondary research. We started looking for some best practices on social media, but then we encountered this concept of storytelling, which we decided to adopt to our strategy. So the information we found is that narratives, they can trigger effective and cognitive responses in people, and they can even change their beliefs, attitudes, and intentions by transporting them to the story. Also, the information we found is that using social media for storytelling is already ultimately shaped in society. So it's something that people already know. And then as a PR team, one important information that we found is that PR can help with building trust, and then storytelling can help at achieving that trust. From that, we started our primary research, which is with some interviews that Vanessa is going to be talking about.
So we interviewed storytellers from different backgrounds, including a filmmaker, a marketing person from Douglas College, a micro-influencer and tech-savvy, a copywriter, and a famous YouTuber. And what we found out is what they said is important regarding storytelling is to have a human factor, a relatable character, to be action-oriented and differentiated, as well as for the story to be enjoyable by the audience and to connect, engage with them. And the story should have a beginning, middle, and end. And we should know that not everything needs to be a story.
So for our strategy, we developed two objective statements. The first one is to use storytelling to create trust, promote student success, create awareness to the program, and show how partners benefited from the students' work. Our second statement is to create engaging stories and enjoyable content to promote the program, therefore attracting more students and partner organizations. For that, we developed a timeline that we wanted to follow. So basically we started with some student stories, organization stories, and then closing it up with some project stories with the outcomes at the showcase. And for our tactics, the ones we use is basically with some published assets for social media and online channels with Instagram and Facebook posts. We also did a great deal of brand building efforts with some website updates where we updated the class photo, the current partners page, and then also we created a new description for the new partners, which are Silver Threads and the author Alan Lehman. We are, as a PR team as well, we are working on developing and then the showcase presentation. So here for the website updates, as you can see, we did the updated partner page and then also the new class photo with the hot links underneath it. Now with the published assets.
We also published some Instagram posts, which we shared also on Facebook. The first one is the introduction of our program with the students working on the projects. And the second one is the introduction of the clients and the project itself, including the Silver Thread Senior Services, the North Shore Connection company, and author Alan Lehman. And the third post is about that one of the groups went to Victoria to visit the Silver Thread organization to create a video about it.
Then for our measurements of success, we're going to be looking at social media metrics as engagement, followers, and likes. And then also we're looking at some student success stories with student testimonials. And then also, very importantly, our measurements of success is looking at organizations interested in partnering with the program. So partnering with the Douglas and Envision Financial Community Building Program. We also created a marketing actions calendar that is going to be used for the following semester students so they can implement their strategy and use it as a guideline. That's everything. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, team. All right, team. Well, I think it's interesting that you talked about storytelling because we have a lot of stories here. So my question for you is, how important is storytelling for marketers today?
I would like to answer this question. So I believe it's just more and more important, and probably some marketers didn't realize the value behind. But just think about that. If you're the story, you will remember that. So you can engage with the customers, you can build a trust and long-term relationship. And just another thing, what I realized during interviewing people from different backgrounds is that first companies, entrepreneurs, and the marketers need someone who actually knows what is storytelling. And on the other hand, there are some storytellers who are not marketers. So they need business people around them and marketers to help them. So it goes hand in hand. It's just very important nowadays.
And I see in our comments here, Gary V, right, talks about storytelling. And we have lots of stories that we have been telling in here today when I look around, right? The anniversary stories at Silver Threads. We've talked about the events and the crafters at North Shore Communications. And of course, Alan Lehman's telling the story about telling stories. So we've got lots going on. And our student PR team, they have been managing a student-led website, Facebook page, Instagram page, there's a YouTube channel. So there's lots going on there. So you've been working on quite a few things. What kind of tips do you have for the next team that is coming in?
Yes, I will answer that question. And the main recommendation I have for the next team is to be action-oriented. So being action-oriented in this, in the PR and content team is very important because since the beginning, you have to find out what you're going to be talking about. So you have to find your story, you have to develop your strategy since the beginning. So from the first day, we were taking pictures of the classes to develop our Instagram posts. And then also we were looking at the website updates, the website, how it was before from the previous semesters. We found what we could improve, such as putting the new partners and creating updating the class photo. So my main recommendation is to be action oriented from the beginning and then also lay out a plan. just lay out, develop right in the beginning of the strategy, lay out a plan, and follow that till the end. Create a storyline.
And the one more thing I would like to add is just don't be afraid of networking for every project, like with the clients and with for your research. It's just reach out to people if you're interested in, and they will be there. They will help you and answer you your questions most likely.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you. Thank you both. Thank you to our PR team. And that is the end of our formal presentations. We do have some time if there's questions from the audience, our guests with us today. Anybody would like to ask the students questions about their projects, about the other projects they heard, or something from their own. So we would love to open that up and for a few minutes if anyone has any questions. And we are also coming to you live from a live band that is happening across the hall. We are on the music and theater wing at the college. So I'm not sure if you can hear that live production, but it's hip hop happening. All right. So questions, you can turn on your microphone, or questions, you can type them in the chat. Or raise your hand using the emojis. And in fact, we can practice with the emojis. How are we feeling about the presentation? Students, how are you feeling about things now that the class is coming to an end? Find that emoji button.
Celebration.
Ah, there we go. There we go. Very good. Good experience. Yes, exactly.
Yes, because for many of us, it's the end of our program as well.
Yes.
All right. So I want to say a great big thank you. Thank you to all of our project partners, fantastic mentoring support. It's been very important. Your guidance with the students, the opening up your organizations, having the conversations about how things work, not only inside the organization, but in your industry, and sharing that knowledge that you have that you probably don't even realize how much you know about your own inside operations. The students will be following up with you. They have some content and some reports and some documents to share with you. They're going to have a follow-up meeting just to go through things a little more slowly than the 5-minute time frame that they were given here today. There's a few, in case you want some of those pieces explained with a bit more detail. There's some lovely comments in the chat, students. So I hope that you're seeing those. And again, this isn't possible without this project opportunity. Our Marketing Advisory Council folks tell us consistently how important it is that students have some applied opportunities, that they have some applied learning in their programs. And this has been a fantastic opportunity, thanks to you, to give our students that opportunity. It's always different in real life, isn't it? Trying to bring things together. So I would like to again extend my heartfelt thank you. I'm always here for follow-up questions. If you would like to come back in another semester or know of another organization or company or firm that would like to come and work with students, we do this every semester. And we would extend that offer to you. And I think with that, we are just about finished, unless there's any comments or questions from the floor. We have anything left to say before I sign off?
A huge thank you for everyone. A huge thank you from you, Shannon, to be here with us to help us a lot with our projects. And it was an amazing experience being out there and getting to action. It was amazing. And Thank you so much.
And everyone for the cooperation with us.
Yes, every other student as well. Thank you so much.
Ishan, do you have a question there?
No, I just want to say thanks to Ellen and Shannon, you too. From Jake and I, we say a heartily congratulations, heartily thank you to you and for giving us an opportunity for doing this project.
There you go. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. I love it. All
Yeah,
right.
especially thank you to Shannon, and we are all expecting better grades than from your such a criticism.
Well,
Okay,
you know, I
thank
liked
you.
all those things at the silent auction they were showing there, right? Or sorry, on Venture Enterprise.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right.
Thank you.
We like to have a little bit of fun. I wish I was funny, but we like to have fun. All right. So with that, we'll wave everybody off. Safe and happy holidays. Thank you again. And we'll be following up with emails and meetings after this, but thank you so much for taking your time to join us today.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thanks so much. Good to see everybody. I think we probably can.